Desert rallying. Surely one of the toughest challenges around for car and driver. 700 miles of unknown sand and rock roads make up the racetrack. Service stops, if you can find them, are few and far between. Extremes of light and temperature face the teams. For the next 3 days, the American Rally Sport Group from headquarters in Laughlin, Nevada, will be heading out into the desert to face that challenge. Today, we travel to Laughlin, Nevada for the first ever running of the Ramada Express International Rally. Welcome back. I'm Doug Plumer, and today we're set to kick off an incredible 3-day adventure over 700 miles of rough desert roads. Teams from around the world have traveled here to Laughlin, Nevada for this incredible event. 43 rally teams from 6 different countries have assembled here at the Ramada Express Hotel for this professional sports car racing event. You're going to see an incredible array of manufacturers' automobiles represented here. Some of the guys have come a long way for the event. The team that gets the award for the furthest distance traveled would have to be Jeff Argyle from New Zealand. Jeff, tell us what brought you here to Laughlin.
Well, we've had a really good year this year. We won 4 of our national rounds out of the 6 rounds and won the national championship. We were first Kiwi home in our world championship event, and so the year had done so well. We done deal with Falcon Tires, USA, and Parker Motion and Control to get over here, and we've decided to come over and have a look and see what it's like over here and see if we can run up against the guys running open cars. We're running a Group A car, so we've only got around 300 horsepower, so be interesting to see how close we can get.
Before racing begins, the Kiwis have an offering for the local Wallapai Tribal Council Chairman Earl Havitone, on whose lands they're going to be racing, just to get a little insurance policy. Then they get a send-off by the Wallapai dancers. And the Kiwis aren't the only ones making a long trip. One of the names you may recognize from our other Speed Vision shows is Frank Sprongel from Canada. Now, Frank, you've had a long trip down here. Tell us what brought you all the way to Laughlin.
It's a different type of event. We've never ran down in Laughlin in this area, the desert type roads and that. It's a new challenge. We're used to running with trees on that. Running without trees will be quite a challenge, I'll tell you. We won't be able to read the road as easily.
And the roads he'll be trying to read are long. 441 miles of driving on today, the first leg alone. 8 stages make up the route, starting on the flats in Roach and working north to the mountains near Pahrump. The stages are a combination of fast tracks and rugged, twisty bits that'll separate the field early. Should be an exciting first day. First, though, the teams get a chance to warm up, one at a time, on the super stage, constructed right behind the hotel. Gives them a look at what's going to be going on tomorrow when they run side by side on this course. Today, though, they're just using the left side. Now, this will give Argyle a chance to check out the action as Sprongel goes through the course. Get some nice air on the jumps. There's 2 jumps built into each side of this course. Give the drivers a little bit of a challenge. Rearrange the dirt nicely, though. Sprongel's taking it kind of easy on this first run. He knows that it's so short, he's not going to make up a lot of time. And speaking of time, for those of you that haven't seen Rally before, you're going to see us giving you a lot of times throughout the stages. The way these times are displayed is in hundredths of a minute as opposed to seconds. It's more accurate, and it gives the drivers a chance to add them up quickly. His time, 1.87 minutes. Not bad for the first racer ever to see the track. Next off the line, Jeff Argyle and Raymond Bennett. The Kiwis are here testing out the dirt. Looks like they're doing nicely over the jump, getting a little bit of air. They told us what the rally scene's like down in New Zealand.
They're mostly sprint events around the 200, 250k mark. We have one event a year in our local rally that's 1,000k. We won that last year, so yeah, there's a bit of variation, but mostly around the 250k sprint events.
This one's going to be just a little bit longer for these guys. All the teams are going to need reliable cars just to finish this event. No one's going to be looking to win it here on the first day. But he's doing pretty well on this course, making up some time on Sprongel already, 1.53 minutes. So he is learning something from watching. Next up, Rui Brazil. Carlos Tavares, the co-driver. And this guy's a little more local, from Southern California. He's got a lot of rally experience, and he told us his approach.
Mine is keep the car in the middle of the road, stay out of the berms as much as you can, and drive as smooth as straight as you can on the stages. It's what we're going to try to do today.
Good plan if you can pull it off, Rui. Definitely. He looks like he's doing well here, too. Oh, up on 2 wheels there. A little action that way. Keeps the fans excited. Comes into the finish now. 1.71 minutes. Another good time as they head out to the desert. We'll take a break. All the action coming right up. Rally. For people that haven't seen rally before, it's unlike any other motorsport. You have a co-driver driving with the driver, reading a route book that has all the instructions about where the team has to go. It's not an easy job. Joe, tell us how you do it.
Well, simply, I focus on the book. At the start of every event, I'm given a book which has detailed instructions with mileages and kind of a little diagram which we call a tulip, which shows us what is happening next. I watch a computer, and the computer mileages match up with the book mileages, and at that point, I communicate to my driver if he's going left, right, in some cases how fast or how slowly he has to approach this certain section of road.
So overall, rally's not a sport for someone with a weak stomach. No weak stomachs here, but there's got to be some butterflies as the guys get set to start stage 2, the first real racing in the desert. First off the line, Frank Sprongel and his brother Dan, as we get a look at them from on board the Kiwis car. Kiwis move up to the line now. They're going to be starting 1 minute after the Sprongels, and you can see the dust is going to be a factor out there. Kiwis take off into the desert, and you can see that as we go on board here, these roads are not exactly what you'd call smooth. And this is actually one of the times where these guys are better off second rather than first, because despite the dust, Sprongel's going to be sweeping a lot of the rough rock and loose gravel off the road for him, giving these guys better traction and possibly a faster time. It's not going to smooth the road out any, though, as these guys are definitely going to be in for a rough ride. Next off the line, Garen Schrader. He gave us his take on the conditions.
Well, so far, the ones that we've run, similar to the last stage was similar to Prescott. The only difference maybe is that you don't have a road that's lined with trees. It may be a little bit more difficult to read the roads at sometimes, but other than that, good roads.
Sure hate to see his idea of a bad road. Laughlin O'Sullivan up next, coming out of the gate here in the older Audi Quattro. Now down the course a bit on stage 3, we got Bill Malik in the Group 2 Volvo. He's someone to look out for. He's had a lot of success in rally, and he's liking these roads a lot. They've widened up a little bit, and he's picking up the pace. Back with the Kiwis now at the end of stage 3. They're having a great run, and they picked up the pace a lot themselves. Coming to the finish now, 9.15 minutes. They are out front.
I'm getting my butt kicked by the New Zealander. Well, thanks. Yeah, we screwed up on the first stage, so long way to go yet. I'll be in your mirrors.
And he definitely will be, as Argyle's lead climbs to 0.45. That's about half a minute over Sprongel. Schrader's in third, Cosmides fourth, Brazil fifth. A lot more racing to come up as they head up into the high mountains of the desert when we come back. We're back with the Ramada Express International Rally from Laughlin, Nevada. And things are starting to look up, as in elevation. The teams get set for stage 5 here, and this is going to be new territory. Twistier than anything the drivers have seen yet. Climbing to almost 6,000 feet in 9 miles, then back down again. Frank Sprongel's first on the road again. He's got no reseed yet, and there won't be one until after this stage. That means he's going to be the guy sweeping the stage and getting all the rocks. And there are plenty of them out here. Every inch of the road seems to be rock covered. It's going to be slow going for him. Average speeds are way down on this type of stage, and drivers have to work a lot harder. One of the big problems is there's not enough room to slide the car sideways on these tight, twisty stages. On top of that, the sun is starting to be a factor as we go on board here. The course runs right into it. Oh yeah, and if that's not enough, did we mention that there's also snow and ice on this stage? It should make it interesting. Sprongel's got a lot of experience in snow, but we're not sure he's completely ready for it here in the desert. Frank is from Canada after all, though, and if anyone can handle this kind of terrain, it would be him. Looks like he's keeping a nice even footing here on the icy section. Looks like he's making it through here okay, but we heard earlier he had slid and clipped the right front with a rock, and that may have caused him some tire problems. He's definitely sliding and going a little bit slower than he usually would be here. Have to see as he comes around with the right front, sliding all over the place. Yeah, he's lost that tire, and he's on the rim. That's going to give him a lot of trouble and cost him time. Doesn't want to stop to change it. He's going to limp it through to the finish here. He's slipping along. 22.13 minutes, and that will definitely slow him down. We'll see what Argyle does. He's coming up behind him in the Mitsubishi Evo 4. This is a purpose-built rally car, a factory car, and these guys know how to use it. Despite the tight, twisty conditions, they're putting on good speed through this section, and it looks like they will be able to make up some time. He's coming through, no problems at all with tires for him. Slides it right through in these tight, twisty sections. Now, that's the way you'd expect these drivers to be doing it. And this guy is definitely going to be making up some speed as he comes along into the finish here, down the straightaway, lined with rocks and ruts. He's really not wasting any time at all. Comes pounding right through there, 70 miles an hour to the finish. 21.24, and he will almost double his lead to 89 hundredths of a minute. Rui Brazil behind him, still moving along nicely, but he's had a few problems too. We understand he's got a shock loose, and that is going to definitely slow him down as that thing rattles around in its mounts. He's moving along nicely, but he's definitely going to be on his toes. Now, this is just the first day, and Rui's been doing a lot of rallying. He knows you can win on the first day, but you definitely can lose. Coming up to the finish here, he looks like he's got a little bit more speed, picking his way through. That's the finish of stage 5, 24.62 minutes. That's a 3.38 minute lead for the leaders. That's a lot of cushion to sit on. Another look at the terrain and Ralph Cosmides as he makes his way through in the two-wheel drive class, Group 5 car. This is going to be interesting once he hits the ice.
You know, the Ruby's Toyota Super's been running real well. We've run 3 stages. Looks like we're doing well on the road. Car's working great. Just checking it out here. We got some more stages to run today, so we're real pleased with the car.
So far, so good, but oh, it looks like he's having a lot of trouble sliding around on this ice and snow here. That's going to be a workout. You can hear the brakes working. He's really got to be careful. Oh, just got one there on the right side. That could be a problem for him. Coming along here, he's definitely losing some speed. It looks like he's got a flat in the rear. That's going to cost him some time. You can see it dragging there, a lot of dust coming out. That's going to be a big problem. Now he's got to decide what to do. Pulls it over.
Yeah, the time's gone. We're on the way. Let's go. We got to change. We got to change? All right, you want to go? All right, let's go.
That is a tough call. It's a difficult situation because they know it's going to take them about 2 minutes to change the tire, but they figure they won't lose that much if they keep going, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're dragging the wheel along. They're not going to go real fast, but they won't lose the 2 minutes it would take to change the tire. And as they go by, you can hear all the punishment that thing's taken. Looks like they're keeping it going, though. As they come to the finish, they probably made the right call not stopping, because it looks like they're going to have a pretty good time coming up here. 25.88 for a two-wheel drive car. Not too bad at all. Here's something you don't see too often. Anyone in the market for a used wheel and tire? Anyone? Well, maybe not.
We slid a little wide on a left-hand turn and cut the sidewall on a tire, but it's about 5 miles left of the stage, but we decided to drive it out rather than stop and change it. Looks like we lost about 1.5 minutes, which is probably less than we would have lost changing it, but puts us down in the pack away, so we're going to be fighting to get to the finish now.
Back to the action out on stage 5. Ken Cassidy coming through now. Oh, look out. He is right off the edge there. In the replay, you can see he gets just a little wide. That's all it takes. He's stuck with no guardrail. There's no place to go but over the edge, and looks like he will be out of the running. Behind him, Harris Doan will be coming through now. You can hear the instructions from the co-driver. That's real helpful for these guys. They haven't seen the road, so they need all the help they can get.
Okay, we got a single caution exposure and washout on left in 10.
Yep, there it is now, that washout. These roads are still a real handful, and you can tell the guys are working real hard as they come up to the finish now.
And fine finish.
25.64 minutes, another good time for that team. Carl Yarleval's running up there in his Group 5 Volvo, but we've heard he's got a problem with his gearbox. It looks like he's going to be stuck in 4th. And that has got to make it tough for this kind of driving.
Somewhere midway, we lost the gears. I think we only have 4th gear, and it's a lot of movement in the shifter. It doesn't do us any good, so I don't know. I hope we will be able to fix it. We will see. We have the good guys with us, so I hope they can fix it for us.
Still, he's managed to climb to 4th position overall after 5 stages. Argyle's pulled ahead of Sprongel after his flat, and Garen Schrader's still in 3rd. Laughlin O'Sullivan runs 5th. Lots of stage miles left in the first day when we come back. Mountains outside Laughlin, Nevada for the Ramada Express International Rally. As we get set to head out stage 6, Frank Sprungel gets his time card and moves to the number 2 position.
I broke a strut and had a flat tire, destroyed a rim. Obviously, it's on my rally right now. I think we lost maybe 10-15 seconds to Argyle on the last stage. But besides that, the first part of the stage was beautiful. We were running great until we caught a flat. And that kind of went all downhill from there.
It's far from over yet, though, as we're not even halfway through the event. Argyle's first of the road, though, now. Looks like he's enjoying it. You can hear the wastegate going as he shifts through the gears coming through this section. And this is more like it, a nice, wide, open, fast stage. Looks like Argyle likes this a little more than the last stage.
Very rough in there. Like, it's a real car breaker. I'd say there'll be a few drop out in there, but we just kept everything straight, and looks like we've done quite a good time through there.
Good enough to take first on the road, and he's using it wisely. Behind him, though, Sprungel still pushing hard. He's not giving up by any means, and he's coming through this wide open section full out. He's got a horsepower advantage in this car, and he's putting that to work coming through this section. Looks like he's using every inch of the road there, and he's actually making up a little bit of time on Argyle coming through stage 6, but it's got a lot of work left to do. Rui Brazil now behind him. He's running 6th, but he's happy just to be there.
Yeah, overall, it's been okay, except for another problem we have with boost control. That's not working properly. I have to myself be keeping my eye on the boost gauge and keeping the accelerator in the proper position. So. But overall, I'm happy with it. I'm still here.
That's 90% of the battle in rally. And the guys ahead of them know it, too. That keeps the pressure on the pack, and they know they can't make any mistakes with a guy like Rui behind them. Garen Schrader coming through now. He's having a real good day in this car. He's had some troubles over the season, but it looks like he's finally got the bugs ironed out, and he's holding on to 3rd. Nice work. Laughlin O'Sullivan now. Lots of power still in that older Quattro, and he's holding on to 5th. Tony Chavez from Peru is climbing up the ladder in his Mitsubishi.
It's the first ever event in the United States, an international event. Have to be here. No, the organizers personally. They put on good events. Knew you were going to be here. That's important. So we're here.
And he's making the most of it, too, with his experience in the desert really paying off. He's running a strong 8th here on stage 6. Quick look back through the classes now. Over in Group 2, Bill Malik is still having a great day. Out front of the class, and in fact leading the unlimited horsepower Group 5 cars. In vintage, Mike Whitman's out front in the Datsun 510. Not bad for a car built in 1972. Nice work there, Mike. Over in the stock class, Lon Peterson's out front in his Plymouth Arrow. Doesn't look like much, but it sure goes fast. And Guy Light makes a return from building cars to take on racing in his performance stock truck, out in front in the class. Leading production GT is the women's team of Karen Burrows and Farina O'Sullivan. Look out, guys. Back to the action now as we head to the final stage, stage 8, the last of the day, as the sun's gone down and Argyle is first on the road. He's actually expanding his lead.
Oh, I don't mind the night. Yeah, obviously we're not going to get any dust because we're running one on the road. That's the only thing I really hate if you drive in dust at night.
With roads like these and the pack chasing right behind him, I can think of other things to worry about, but looks like he's doing a nice job. Sprungel right behind him, though, still trying to make up time, and they've been sort of trading back and forth all day. It's still anyone's race. So stage 8 in the first day comes to an end. Argyle's out front, 0.86 minutes. Brazil's 3rd, O'Sullivan 4th, Bill Malik in the Group 2 car 5th. How fast are these guys?
We averaged 97 miles an hour on the last stage in the dark and in dust. So that's the fastest stage I've ever ran. We only managed to pull 5/100ths of a second back on Jeff, so he's ahead 50 seconds. So we're having a good battle, but he's kind of pulling away because we had a flat and a couple of other broken struts. So it's not our rally yet, but we got tomorrow and Sunday, so we'll be back.
And back at the casino, the Kiwis have something to smile about.
Right, stages.
Like, we're not out there to have a picnic, but we're going something that we know we're not going to crash the car. but something that we can try and keep pace with Audi. We know that car's probably quicker than ours because we're running with a Group A with lower horsepower, but on the right stages, we can match them quite well.
So after 8 stages, Rui Brazil currently running third. Rui, what was the biggest challenge out there for you today?
Our biggest challenge was stage number 5. We lost. We didn't lose the shock, but it got loose on us and was knocking under the car. So I believe the stage 5 was the most challenged one.
Lots more challenges coming up as the teams get some rest. Day 2 in the Super Stage coming up after this. Rally where we're getting set for the Super Stage, leg 2 of the event. One of the things we're seeing more and more on World Rally is a super special stage like we have behind me. There's one here in Laughlin, and it gives the drivers a chance to flex their muscles in front of the crowd. The Super Stage pits teams head-to-head, side-by-side on identical 2-mile courses in front of the fans. There are fast sections and tight, twisty turns, a thrill for the fans and a challenge for the drivers.
I think what's really unique about it is that it brings the rally right downtown to where people can come out, sit in the grandstands, or stand along the sides of the course and watch the action from up close.
And there's a whole lot of action to see. On the first run, drivers found out this was no toy stage.
Back onto the course. That'll slow him down a little bit. Tender grass. Makes it a little harder on the track.
The second run saw some interesting matchups. On the far side, Vinnie Fronten in the Group 5 car against Mike Whitman in the vintage 510. Both guys have had a great event so far and are ready for the Super Stage. Mike Whitman having a great run here, nice and solid, and Vinnie Fronten looking a little bit wild despite what he told us earlier.
My car overheats on short first and second, so I'm just going to pace myself and just keep it on the track because you don't want to get stuck. You get stuck, you lose all the time because the clock keeps going on until you finish.
And that clock is firmly in the mind of each one of these drivers as they come through the course. Mike Whitman again here. Oh, gets a little outside. Right into that glue trap of a turn there. If you stay on the line, you can make speed. If you get off, you're going to lose it. At the finish, Vinnie, 2.01 minutes. Nice run for him, and Mike Whitman lost some time, 2.11. That'll cost him. Now it's time for the battle of the rear-wheel drive cars as Ralph Cosmides on the inside and Bill Malik on the outside head to the course.
We're running in reverse order, so the faster guys are running at the back of the pack. By the time we get out there, the gravel's pretty deep, and it's really hard to get through it with any kind of speed. It's pretty deep, but you know, it's the same for all of us, so we just kind of go through it and get it done. But clearly the four-wheel drive guys have a big advantage.
Well, the drivers may feel that way, but for the fans, the two-wheel drives are just as much fun to watch. Whoa, Malik gets up on the inside berm, and that's going to cost him just as much time as the outside berm. Coming to the finish now, Cosmides takes it by just 2/100ths of a minute. And now we go to the open class. Garen Schrader on the inside, Tony Chavez on the outside. And as we go on board, we can see just how tough this course really is. You can see they're really working through these ruts, and you come up to one of the jumps here. Ow, yeah, they're really getting some air too. That's gotta be tough on the cars. Makes it through okay though. Looks like this hairpin is giving everyone a lot of trouble. Those turns are really tight and these cars are having a tough time getting around them. Tony Chavez now on the other side of the course. Ow, look out guys. Kind of woke up the photographers a little bit there, but it's gonna keep him going okay. Garen comes to the finish, 1.85, fastest yet. Tony Chavez just 300ths behind. Now for the Quattro fans, Laughlin O'Sullivan on the inside, Rui Brazil on the outside as they hit into the turns. Now you can see the power advantage this newer Audi has. It's really working it hard. Now we get Laughlin O'Sullivan. Oh, up on two wheels there. Gets off the track, though. He's got to get back on. That will cost him time. Rui at the finish, 1.86, and that's a huge margin right there as Laughlin comes through, 1.94 minutes. Now the main event. Sprongel on the inside, Argyle on the outside as they head into the first turn. Argyle looks like he's got a lot of speed. Oh, yeah, sideways. He's off. He's gone off the course there. He is just losing all kinds of time on board here. We can see him, yep, just couldn't make it over that first turn, and he's got to work his way back onto the course. That will cost him a lot of time. Gets back on. Sprongel, on the other hand, still going, whipping it through. Look at the dirt flying around. He is just making a heck of a mess. They're going to have a tough time cleaning that up for the next run. Keeping it going, though, moving it through, and you can see on board, wakes up the birds, but he really has got this course chewed up. Keeps the pressure on. He's going to make up some time on Argyle here, and if he can keep doing this over and over, he'll chip away at the lead Argyle has, and that's what he's planning to do. Comes down through the straightaway now. Argyle's definitely a few seconds behind him after that mistake. Takes the jump, though, nicely. At the finish, big gap. Sprongel, 1.66. Incredible time, and a lot of difference there. Argyle, 1.74 minutes. That will hurt. Argyle gets ready for the next run, and he knows he's got some work to do.
We were too late and straight over the berm and had to go back around in a circle and get back on the track again, so that's where we lost most of the time. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit of lack in concentration. We've been sitting around here so long, sort of a little bit hard to get back onto it straight away.
More Super Stage action coming up when we return. We're back at the super stage of the Ramada Express International Rally, where one of the cars is getting a lot of attention, even though it's not officially entered in the event.
This is the Toyota RAV4. This is not a golf cart. This car has speed, it handles great, it's got everything that a regular car has, it's got anti-locking braking system, power steering, power windows, it even has the seats that heat up. It has a nickel metal hydride battery. Actually, there's 24 batteries, which are low and underneath the driver and passenger side of the vehicle. You have your motor, which is a permanent magnetic motor that runs the transaxle. It's a front-wheel drive, single speed. Yeah, it's got a lot of pep to it. It's just a blast to drive.
Could be the future of rally. Right now, though, more conventional power has the stage. As the rear-wheel drive cars go at it again, Bill Malik on the inside this time. Heads around the first turn. Nice work. Cosmides big air here on the outside. They've had a chance to groom this track between rounds, but the stage is still a handful. You can see on board with Cosmides, he is having to work incredibly hard to keep this thing in line. And this is a situation where more power isn't always the best thing. We come to the finish here, almost side by side through the straightaway. They come to the line, a tie, the first tie, 2.03 minutes, the only one of the day. Now Schrader and Chavez. Schrader on the inside, coming up to the first turn, the tightest of the stage. Outside, oh, into the berm, gets it up, almost tipped it over there. But he keeps it going, and he manages to actually make up time.
Usually people today, on a thing like this, it's not a place where you can make up a lot of time, but for us it worked well. We had a problem on the last stage last night and dropped from 3rd to 6th, and we've been able to move back up to 4th, get a better road position for tomorrow, so we're looking forward to it.
Trouble in the Kiwi pits, though. It looks like they've bent the oil pan, but they've come up with a novel solution to keep in the race.
Well, because it bent it basically at a 90-degree angle, we tried to bend it back up with a hammer and spars, and it wasn't going to happen. So they've got fly ash contractors here looking after the track, and they've got a big water truck, a huge big thing. So we just parked it on the road and he drove over, and it sort of seems to have straightened it out enough that we can bolt it back on.
Lucky break for them, and that puts them right back where they want to be. They come down the main straight now. Sprongel on the inside, Argyle's on the outside. Sprongel in the bottom, split screen, Argyle on the top. You can see him really sliding through the turns here. These cars are both four-wheel drive. Sprongel does have a horsepower advantage, and he seems to be working that well here. He's got a little bit of an advantage. You can see coming into the straightaway a few seconds ahead of Argyle, and that's, oh, up on the berm. That definitely is not where he wants to be, but he hangs onto it, slides it down through the tight hairpin. Good line, keeps it right up to the center of the track. Now, Sprongel got this track by coin toss, and you can tell it's in a little bit better shape than the one on the top. That's definitely going to help him, and that may be where his edge is coming from here. Sets up for the jump now, coming to the final set of turns. He's really kicking the dirt out every direction. Oh, just clips the edge of the berm there, but it looks like it's not going to hurt him too much. He keeps it going nicely, keeps the speed up, coming over the jump again. Yep, right into the camera, but it looks like he's got a nice line. He's going to keep his speed advantage. Argyle's behind, looks like about 6 seconds back now, because he's just got into that second jump. And you can tell he's really not going to be able to keep up with Sprongel. This could be an edge for Sprongel. He gets enough of these small leads on these short stages, it's going to make for a bigger advantage when they start out tomorrow morning. Comes down to the finish line here. 1.59, the last and best run of the day. 1/10 of a minute, and that'll make a big dent in Argyle's lead. Frank Sprongel, the end of day 2, 35.4 seconds. What's the plan tomorrow, Frank? Can you make up the time?
I believe we can make up the time. It'll be full attack tomorrow, no holding back. I believe we can win it.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel there, Frank. Well, there is one more day to go, and Argyle is still in the lead. Our leader after the day, Jeff Argyle, what's the plan tomorrow?
Hopefully not the mistakes I made today. We made a few mistakes, and then the sump guard dug in it in the second run out there, and we had a few problems, held us up for a while, but we've still got a reasonable lead. We'll try and defend it tomorrow.
So as the sun sinks slowly into the west, we come to the end of leg 2, and Argyle's out front, Sprongel second, Rui Brazil third, Garen Schrader fourth, and Laughlin O'Sullivan fifth. And as the evening sets in here in Laughlin, the competitors' interests turn to nightlife and the other major sporting activity here in Laughlin, the casinos. The rally cars are parked for the day, and the international crowd assembled for the event gets to sample the world-class entertainment offered by Laughlin's finest establishments. The Ramada Express Casino even offers a chance to win a new Mustang. A lot of rally teams wonder what kind of rally car that would make. The final day's action coming up right after this. We're back at the Ramada Express International Rally, where Mother Nature has brought a surprise in the form of a desert snowstorm up near the Grand Canyon, where today's stages are to be run. But the show must go on. A little bit unsettled weather here as we begin the final leg of the rally. This man, Frank Sprongel, needs to make up 35 seconds. Frank, what's the plan?
Right now what it is, I think it's going to be snow, so if there's snow up there, it's definitely in my favor. We heard some bad weather conditions, but I hope for lots of snow.
You bring snow tires with you today?
We got snow tires, definitely. We brought them with us, and our service crews are going up there, and they'll be waiting for us.
Well, Sprongel's the only one that did bring snow tires, and that can be a real decisive advantage today. As they get ready to head out, let's take a look at the course. Today's stages run a total of 277 miles up to the Grand Canyon and back, climbing 1,000 vertical feet into snow country. It will be an interesting day. And what has to be a cruel twist of fate, Argyle's lead gives him the first place on the road. That's the last place he wants to be. He's got to break a trail, find the racing line without the benefit of snow tires. Not an easy feat. Makes it through. You can see he's sliding all over the place without the snow tires here. And that's going to really cost him time. Rally tires are better than ordinary street tires in the snow, but no match for specialized tread patterns. He's going to have a tough time defending the lead here. The going is definitely going to be slow and slippery. Next on the road behind him, Frank Sprongel. And you can tell the snow tires make a big difference. That, and he's got a nice set of tracks right in front of him, so he knows exactly where the racing line is. Now remember, Frank's from Canada, and every year he enters several snow races. Unless something breaks, he's the one that wins them. This is his element. And that is definitely working out to his advantage as he comes through the snow here, not wasting any time at all. The snow's getting deeper, but he is not slowing down. Rui Brazil next through in the Quattro. He's building up a lot of speed. Now, Rui's from California, but he has had some experience in the snow, and it looks like he's putting it to work here. You can see the Quattro working through, kicking up the snow there. He gets a little bit offline, but he manages to hang on to it okay. That's got to be tough on your nerves. This is going to be a long day of driving in the snow. Everyone here wants to just get through this and finish as well as they can. On board now, Garen Schrader and John Belfleur coming up to the turns. Oh, four-wheel drive. He gets a little bit off, though. It's not helping him. And, overcorrects. Back to the other side. He's down. He's off the course. Back up on the road. That is tight. He is really having to work to keep that thing on the road there. Gets it going, keeps the speed up still, though. He's moving along nicely. Coming through another turn here, got a left-hander coming up. A lot of dirt in the road. Someone's had problems here before already. You can see, and oh, he is off and over. Trying to do the same trick again now. Let's see if he can get out. Heads up the bank. Oh, that is a tough angle. He's worried about rolling it over there. That could definitely happen. He manages to back out, though. This is a lot of work, and it's going to cost him a lot of time. Gets it back up on the road now. Oh, he was lucky that time. Kept it going. Ralph Cosmides next, coming through now. This is a rear-wheel drive car, and that's going to make a big difference. He must be a real handful in the snow. Comes up at the same turn Garen was just at now. A lot of dirt. You can see everyone's having trouble there. Ooh, right over the edge. He probably had his brakes locked up. Nothing you could do about that. Gets it turned around, though. Looks like he's going to try and get out the other way. Managed to go out frontwards now. Oh, I hate when that happens.
We got the car turned around in the snow, and then fortunately a couple other guys came in and packed in behind us, so we were able to get us all out. We overheated the diff and blew the posi out. And so after that, we couldn't get up even the slightest hill, and after it cooled down for an hour, and Joe sat in the back and bounced up and down, we got up the last hill, about a quarter mile to the last finish, and then we're able to come down the next stage. Once it cooled down, it would work. So we're working on it. We're going to go back and run the last few stages and hope to pull out some kind of result at the end.
But he's doing a lot better than the other teams. You can see Bill Malik here stuck in the snow, and he is not the only one. Just about the only cars that seem to be able to make it through are the ones with four-wheel drive. And that's going to be a real headache for the organizers.
So we've got about 5 or 6 cars stuck at the bottom of this hill, teaming up, trying to help each other and also help the other competitors that are coming up on the scene that have momentum to keep getting up the hill. What we're going to wait at this point in time is see if our sweep car can get them pulled out, see what's going on. Right now, it looks like that road's pretty treacherous, so we've got to do some careful planning to see if we're going to even consider sending people back down that road again.
The snow has brought big changes, though. Sprongle's made up almost a minute on Argyle for the lead. Brazil's third, Schrader fourth, and with Malik stuck, Chavez moves to fifth. 3 more stages to go. You don't want to miss the finish. Now it should be obvious that rally racing is just a little bit different than other forms of motorsport. We asked drivers, why would anyone choose this form of torture?
I think rallying, there's more skill with the driver. Like, there's a lot more variance. You've got traction to worry about and things like that, whereas on a circuit with tar seal, you've just got sheer speed, and if the car breaks away, that's about all you have to worry about. You just keep your foot flat most of the time, whereas this, you've got so many variants. And look at today, it's totally different to what it was the last couple of days, so all sorts of things come into play.
The thing I liked about rallying is it reminded me of off-road racing 25 years ago. Very family-oriented, everybody helping everybody. Very competitive on the track, but off the track, we're all good buddies helping each other. And from a cost standpoint, you know, we run a national series here on what I consider to be a very reasonable budget.
Rallying is big in Portugal, and I was brought up with all the rally, so I guess it's on the blood, it's how you can say it, and that's my favorite sport. So.
Well, back out here in the snow, a lot of these guys may not be loving the sport quite so much today. You got to feel bad for Argyle. He's out here working as hard as he can, no snow tires, trying to defend his lead, but it just isn't happening for him. Coming up to the end of stage 14 now. He's doing his best, but wait a minute, that's Sprongle right behind him. Sprongle has made up almost a minute in the snow, an incredible feat. And he is right behind Argyle. And that is not the thing he wants to see in his rearview mirror coming to the end of this stage. That could be the beginning of the end for the Kiwi team as they come up to the finish. We'll check the time, 1:23.56, and Sprongle's almost 3 minutes faster.
We've been beaten quite well in those stages. We had the wrong tyres on. The screen started fogging up, so then we spun off the road at one stage and all sorts of things. You know, it wasn't our day, so then I decided we can't compete, so we've just got to try and hold on to second place.
And it all comes down to a decision to bring the snow tires to the desert.
I'm happy we're in first place right now, but for the other teams, they're having a real hell of a time with the snow and that because they never brought snow tires. We brought snow tires. My brother gambled on it. I said, no, we're not going to bring any. He says, yeah, we'll bring them. Even in the desert, it snows once in a while. And this is the year it snows.
Who would have thought so? Well, Rui Brazil is running third still, and he's actually in a place that he could challenge Argyle for second, but there's a 6-minute gap between them, and there may not be enough rally for Rui to catch him. Comes to the finish now, 129.73. Yeah, that's a big gap. He's going to have a tough time. Darren Schrader behind him on board now. He's managed to keep it pointed, but this has been a real tough day for him. He's had no less than 3 off-road experiences on the last stage alone, and it's definitely costing him time and aggravation.
The last one that we ran, the snow was not quite as deep. You were able to get down to some gravel, but Rui still made a big time on us. I mean, I lost a lot of confidence on the ice, and so it'll definitely be interesting going back through. I know the guys are grooving up some tires, and we're trying to do everything that we can to try to get the car to get a little bit of bite on the ice, and we're just going to try to treat that one with extreme caution to go back through.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Well, behind him, Anton Musev is doing a good job. He's got the Quattro planted and worked his way up to 5th place in the open class. Another big story is Tony Chavez. He's managed to make up time in the snow. Not bad for a guy from Peru. A little different than what you're used to, I imagine.
I have never driven in the snow in my life. It is treacherous, it is slippery. We're able to make up a little bit of time yesterday on the Super Specials, and today we have moved out 3 spots, but it's working.
Seems to be working for him. The weather's working out as well. Clearing conditions give the teams a view of the Grand Canyon at the service break. Then it's right back to work as they head back down the stages. And Sprongel is out in front after the reseed. That's going to be an advantage in his case. There's been a lot of cars over this road because it's the same road they came up on, but it looks like Sprongel doesn't really trust the dirt tracks. He seems to be favoring the snow with those snow tires where he knows the traction's reliable and not icy. Coming through nicely though, a lot of speed building up already here. With the weather clearing, it's going to help him and everyone else build up some faster time for the run back down the hill. Still a lot of places to get offline, though. He needs to stay on the road to keep the lead, and that's just what he's doing here. On board now, you can see there's been a lot of action on this road, and it's going to be a little bit of a problem for the drivers. It's not exactly a clean, straight track to follow. You really have to pick your way through the carnage. Coming to the end of stage 16 now, 1 hour, 38 minutes, .01, the new time to beat. The man trying to beat it, Jeff Argyle behind him. He's got to like this better. He can finally see dirt for a change. And you know he's going to be staying on that dirt whenever he can. Looks like he's doing much better. He's got a lot more speed running through here, but there's also ice mixed in with this dirt, and that's what he's got to watch out for. It definitely is still some slippery spots. Oh, managed to hang on to that one, though. You got to watch out for those rocks. They definitely will mess you up on this course. Coming to the finish now, stage 16, 1:43.06. He is still losing time to Sprongel. Now Rui Brazil behind him. His day's going bad. We understand he lost the rear drive on the Quattro, and that's going to make it tough going through the snow. Behind him now, Darren Schrader. Looks like he's making up a lot of time, having a great run here. He's managed to catch Rui now. You can see Rui just in front of him from the onboard now, and that's going to be critical. Rui's going to let him by. That is a real nice gesture because he could hold him up for quite a while there if he didn't pull over, and that's going to give Darren a shot to take 3rd place. He's got to make up almost 3 minutes. There's only 1 stage left to do it, and it'll be interesting to see if he can pull this off. For now, the order's unchanged. Sprongel's lead expands. Argyle's 2nd, Brazil 3rd, Schrader's 4th, and Chavez 5th. Coming up, the final stage will decide it all. The Ramada Express International Rally, the final stage. Frank Sprongel still in the lead, looking right at home with a flawless run in the snow. You can see he's still using the outside of the track, where he knows the traction will at least be consistent, if not great. At the last service, he was amazed at his luck.
Yeah, we made up almost 3 minutes on Jeff. If I were a million years, I would have not bet that we're going to have 5 inches of snow today. I'm totally surprised at it, and I think the rest of the field is too.
And the rest of that field is still on regular rally tires. So Sprongel's got a good advantage here in the snow, and looks like he's just about to finish up. This will be the finish here. 1 hour, 43 minutes, .93. Incredible effort in the snow. And behind him, Argyle still trying to make up time, but not having a very good day of it. You can see some sun starting to come out here now. The weather has been clearing up all afternoon, and that's helped a bit, but without the snow tires, the traction just isn't there, and he has not been able to make up the time. And remember, they timed the nearest 100th of a minute, comes to the finish. 1 hour, 50 minutes, .75, almost 7 minutes back. Not enough. Behind him, Rui Brazil challenging for second. Now he has had some driveline problems, but he's been able to make up a little bit of time. Not enough, though. That'll be good for third. Behind him, Garen Schrader. That will be good for fourth. And back at the Ramada, the champagne is beginning to flow.
We're almost a minute behind after Friday night. So that kind of took a little wind out of our sails. And then yesterday we had a positive day. We pulled back 20 seconds almost on 6 miles. So you can say blew the wind back into sails. And today with the snow, flat out.
You sure you didn't arrange this on purpose, a little snow from Canada with you?
Well, I threw a little money to the Indians, so they brought down the snow for me. Love them out there.
Love the snow, too, just not necessarily for driving.
Yeah, it would have been better bringing our skis from home and having a go today, because like, we've never been driving in that sort of stuff before in our lives. And like, when you're doing 10 miles an hour and the car's just going sideways, it's not much you can do about it. So, something new. We should have snowmobile racing.
Well, maybe in the next show, Raymond will work on that. But the results for this event, Frank Sprongel first, Argyle second, Brazil third, Schrader fourth, and Guy Light in the performance stock truck fifth. Other class winners, Vinnie Frontman takes Group 5, Mike Whitman, the Vintage class, Bill Malik, Group 2, Lon Peterson, Stock class, and Arthur Odero Jodway takes Production GT.
We've seen just about everything here at the Ramada Express International Rally. Desert sand, snow, you've got it all. 3 days of rally excitement. And you'll be seeing lots more rally here on Speedway.